is choreographed, so to speak. And we just dancing the tune of the Most High. So whatever the Most High wants us to do, that's what we're going to do. So the actual New World Order is going to take place is the order of the kingdom, the kingdom. The laws of the Most High is going to be executed throughout the whole earth. Yeah, read that.
Okay, God, this is Job 12, verse 16. It says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Right, the deceive and the deceiver belongs to the Lord. So the Most High controls everything. He controls the ones that sees it. That's what he was going to, what is given. He also controls the one that can't see it. Right?
He leadeth the counsel away, he leadeth counselors away spoiled, and maketh the judges fools. So if I can say something on that, he says, he maketh the judges fools. Esau, you're going to find out at the end that Esau is just nothing but a damn fool. You know, he's going to get caught up in his own devices. You know what I'm saying? You know, because he put it in the minds of the Germans to make these missiles, which they're going to use to destroy themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know, showing you how the Most High, how crafty the Most High is, man. The Most High is, you know. Nothing can top the Most High, you know what I mean? He could put a thought in you to destroy yourself, you know what I mean? This is the power that you're dealing with, and this is the power that Esau Edom, who is the so-called white man, that's up against. And he feel like he can defeat the Most High. But you don't understand that the Most High is directing your steps. The Most High is directing your steps so you can implement this chip, so you can be destroyed, okay? He has put it in your spirit so you can make these missiles, so you can shoot them, and then what? They're going to get shot right back on you, all right? And then what the elect of Israel, starting with our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're going to put you in slavery, and we're going to put you right in captivity, you know? So everything that you're doing, everything that you're doing is just only for your destruction, you know? And it says, I'm going to read it again, he leadeth counselors away spoiled, right? And the counselors that's going to be led away spoiled is Esau Edom. Okay, those that's executing laws, you know what I mean? Those that got the amendments and the Constitution, you're going to be spoiled, because why are we going to take your goods, man? Which is really, the goods are really ours. We're going to just take back what's ours. Yeah. Because the scripture sit there and tell you that rich is basically just translated from one to the next. You know? So we're going to take away yours. We're going to spoil you. We're going to spoil you. We're going to rob you. We're going to take your woman and have them as bed wenches. You know? And it says, and make of the judges fools. All right? And Esau Edom, just like I say, he's just showing you how much of a fool he is. Here it is that he contaminates the same air that he has to breathe in. That's a fool, man. He contaminates the same water that you have to drink. You know? That's a fool for you. You know? And it says, he looseth the bonds of kings and girdeth the loins with the girt. And that's what he's going to do with us. Because we're actually with the kings of the earth. You know, when you read in Exodus, it says that the nation of Israel should be a nation of kings and priests. You know? Okay? Our righteous duty is to have dominion over the whole earth. The scriptures say when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. You know? So the Lord is going to, he's going to loosen our bonds, man. Which is the slavery that we're going through right now. You know? You're going to take away the Social Security card, you know, the birth certificate, those jobs, these contracts that we're under. You know what I mean? You go get a job, what? You're subject, you got to sign your name on a contract. Showing you that you're a slave, man. So the Lord is going to destroy all that, man. And he's going.
That's what the microchip is really dedicated to perfect this slave system. There's some hold that. It's got that Romans.
This is Romans 7 verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband.
So the woman that liveth is bound to the law of her husband. Because a woman's righteousness is not the same as a man's righteousness. Now a man is supposed to serve the Most High, and the woman is supposed to serve the man. That's how her righteousness is get accounted by serving her husband. Right?
Yep, it says, but
So
if the
anything that a man told his woman to do, a woman is supposed to do it. That's it. You know, she don't have a thought like, well, I feel, you know, it's the Most High not with gender equality. Okay, Satan's okay with gender equality, but that time's gonna come where the Most High is gonna rotate things back in a correct perspective. Because when things get shut down, these women that got a mouth, these women that's out of order, out of place, they're gonna, a lot of them are gonna die. A lot of them will get put to death. Okay, a lot of them, you know, they're gonna have to get taught some manners. All right, a lot of them, let's be real, a lot of these women do the things that they do because there's no consequences for their actions. So the time is going to come where there will be consequences for your actions. Okay?
real quick, Genesis 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be.
Yeah, a woman's desire is supposed to be towards a husband. All right? Now, the Lord said He's going to greatly multiply her sorrow because Eve was out of, you know, she's out of order. And a woman's purpose in life is just to serve her husband. That's it. You know, there's no big agenda for you. You trying to get your doctorates, and the Most High is going to put a stop to that. You know, right now, yeah, they could do whatever they want, but we're in a time where the Most High is going to put a woman back in her place. A lot of these women will choke so quick to try to define what a man's supposed to do, and she don't know the first thing about being a woman.
Right.
You know, so that kind of have to get taught to her.
Right.
A lot of these women can't even cook to save their life. Do you know what they call cooking? Cooking, boiling some noodles, making pasta.
Yeah.
Well, I cook. I ain't cooking. That's boiling pasta. You know, there's no skill to boiling. Throw it in the water for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's cooked. That's not a skill. But these women are gonna learn. They're gonna learn their place. Okay.
Back in Romans 7, verse 2, for the woman which have an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
Right, so we go into the law. So a woman is bound by the law of her husband as long as he liveth. But if her husband be dead, she free from the law of her husband. Why is it going to that? Because that's going to Israel. In this case, the woman represents Israel. Now, you go into the scriptures, it references Israel as being a widow. Now, what's a widow? A widow is a woman whose husband had passed away. So that's why it's making a statement here. So a woman, read that again?
Yep. It says, Romans 7, verse 2, for the woman which having a husband is bound by the law to her husband.
And in that case, our husband was the Most High. We was bound by the law of the Most High. Go ahead.
So long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead.
So in this case, what happened was, you know, the Most High was her husband, and the Most High referenced himself as being a deceased husband, and we being the woman, we became widows. Okay?
Yep. It says, she is loosed from the law of her husband. So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress.
Right, so a woman remarried to another man, and that man is still alive, she'll be found as an adulterer. Go ahead.
But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law.
So she is free from that law. Go ahead.
So that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man.
In this case, you know, if the husband has passed on, so now that woman's free to marry again. That's why, but that next man we're gonna be married to is Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Hamashiach, that ye should be married unto another, even to him.
Particularly, we under the law of faith, but that all means you go about and do, like, you commit adultery and do anything you want. You know, because if you're a righteous person, you're going to do the thing that is right. Like, if a woman is single, that don't mean because she's not married, she go outside with booty shorts and her ass crack showing, and well, she's single. No, a woman's still supposed to carry herself as if she did have a man, and still carry herself as a woman to have respect for herself, even though she's single. Go ahead.
Yep, it says, even to him who raised from the dead.
Even him who was raised from the dead. So we're going to be married to Yahushua, and the wedding's going to be when the elect get beaten up to the chariots. Right now, we're bonding people to the wedding. That's what we're doing when we teach. Go ahead.
It says that we should bring forth fruit unto the Most High, for when we were in the flesh, the motions of sins, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death.
Right, because the wages of sin is death. So when you break the law, the penalty for breaking the law is death, it's mortality. Go ahead.
Yep, it says, but now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held.
Right, because we couldn't keep the law 100%. And the law is one unit. So you break one law, you're guilty of all the laws. So we couldn't keep the law. Not that the law was unperfected or any problems with the law. It was us that was the problem. Go ahead.
It says that we should serve in newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter.
The oldness of the letter is talking about the Mosaic law. Go ahead.
Yep, it says, what shall we say then? In the law, sin is the law sin?
Mm-hmm. So what should we say this? Is the law sin? Go ahead.
God forbid.
God forbid. Other words, it's not the law that's causing us to sin. It's these bodies that's causing us to sin. Go ahead.
Yep, it says, nay, I had not known sin, but by the law. For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet.
Right. Now, lust is a desire to do something. And that's how the flesh works. You know, the flesh always want to commit an act that's not supposed to be done. Right?
It says, but sin taken occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concubines. It says, but sin taken occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concubines. For without the law, sin was dead. For I was alive without the law.
So without the law, sin is dead. So if there's no law, there's no sin to it. Okay?
It says, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. And the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death.
Look at that. He said the law that it was supposed to. Read that again. I'm sorry.
It says, for I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived, and I died. And the commandment which was ordained to life.
There we go. The commandments that was ordained to life, because the commandment was for us to enter into the kingdom and judge according to the law. And it's supposed to bring forth life and blessings. But he said he found, what did it say? He found it onto what?
It says, for sin taken occasion.
No, that go back to the commandments.
And the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death.
He found to be unto death. Because that's what happened. Get real quick in Romans 4:15.
Book of Romans. Romans 4, verse 15. And it reads, because the law worketh wrath, for where no law is, there is no transgression.
So it says the law worketh wrath. Because when you break the law, what happens? You move the Most High to wrath. What's the outcome of moving the Most High to wrath? You bring forth fruits unto death, mortality. That's the penalty for breaking the law. That's what it means. The wage of sin is death. What are wages? Wages are payments. So the payment of breaking the law is fruits to death. That's the payment. Let's go back.
Back in Romans 7, verse 11, for sin, taken occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment.
The law is holy. The commandment is holy. Go ahead.
And just and good.
Just and good. Go ahead.
Was then that which is good made death unto me?
So he's saying, is that which is good made death unto me? Which is referencing towards the law. Go ahead.
It says, God forbid.
In other words, no. It's not the law that really brought death to him. Go ahead.
But sin.
It's the breaking of the law that brought death to you. Go ahead.
That it might appear sin.
What caused the breaking of the law? The flesh. Go ahead.
Working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful.
Let's stop there, because that whole chapter is good. Let's go.
This is Romans chapter 5, verse 12. It says, wherefore, but as by one man sin entered into the world.
Now, it said, therefore, by one man sin entered into the world. Who's that one man? That was Adam. Go ahead.
And death by sin. And so,
because if Adam would have not sinned, Cain would never kill his brother. Cain would never commit the act of sin. Because the action of Cain really was from the fruits of Adam. Go ahead.
Wow. It says, and so death passed upon all men.
Death passed upon all men. Because man was created to be immortals. But when sin came into the world, what happened? We became mortified. Go ahead.
It says, for that all have sinned. It says, for until the law, sin was in the world. But sin is not imputed where there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses.
So death reigned to Adam to Moses.
Even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression.
Right, because we read Genesis and you look at the lifespans of men, you'll see that the lifespans of men start to go down and decrease. And that was because of sin. Because we were supposed to be immortal. But through death, well, through sin, came mortality, which is death. Go ahead.
It says, after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come, but not as the offense, so also is the free gift. For if through the offense of one many be dead, much more the grace of the Most High and the gift by grace, which is by one man, Yahushua.
Yeah, the one man came death to Adam. In the same way, through one man we can receive life through Yahushua. Let's get on Romans 8.
God, it's Romans chapter 8, verse 1.
No, 20. You get it. Romans 8 and 1.
It's Romans 8, verse 1, and it reads, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in.
Now, what does the word condemnation mean? Condemnation means to be sentenced to punishment. Punishment for what? The breaking of the law. So read it again.
This is Romans 8, verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation.
To be sentenced to punishment. Go ahead.
To them which are in Hamashiach Yahushua.
So the ones, there's no combination in them that being Yahushua. One that have faith in Yahushua. Right?
Who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit.
Yeah, now a person that walks after the flesh, that's a person that's carnal. The word carnal itself derived from the Latin word continent, which means flesh. So that's a person that see through the flesh, not through the spirit. Okay? That's a person that need to see something. Just to believe it's there. Whereas a person look through the spirit, that's a person that have faith. Okay?
For the law of the spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushai have made me free from the law of sin.
What's the law of spirit of life? Faith. Go ahead.
That's right. It says, for the law of the spirit of life in...
Before you read that, get let's get, I believe it's Romans 3 and 31. You hold that though. Romans 3 and 31, and then once Romans 6.
I think I'm right here. Let me get it.
Yeah,
okay.
Let me get it.
Okay.
Oh, this is Romans chapter 3, verse 31. Do we then make void the law through faith? The Most High forbid.
Right, so do we make void the law? What do it mean to you put something void? That means you put it to the side. You know, you ignore it. So do we ignore the law? Do we, like if something is void, meaning, matter of fact, look at the word void.
So no effect, doesn't...
Let's get it, let's see what the English definition say about void.
Yeah, the word void in the English dictionary is opening gap, empty space,
Right.
emptiness, vacuum, the quality or state of being without something, lacking, absence.
So in other words, to be invalid. You know, so do we make the law invalid and we don't have to exercise the law through faith? So let's read that again.
Romans 3 and 31. Do we then make void the
To make invalid the law. Go ahead.
Do we then make void the law through faith? Most High forbid.
That means no. Go ahead.
Yea, we establish the law.
We establish the law. In other words, we carry out the law along with faith. Go ahead. Give Romans 6.
I got it right here. That's the spirit. This is Romans 6 verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin?
So we continue in sin. What is sin? The breaking of the law. Because it's the breaking of the law that separated us from the Most High in the beginning and to start with. So read that again.
Romans 6 verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? The Most High forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin?
We're receiving grace right now. Well, because we can't keep the law 100%. But does that mean we don't keep the law? No, we just receiving mercy, grace. Okay?
It says, Most High forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized in Hamashiach Yahushai were baptized into his death?
So let's go back to Romans 8.
Romans 8 verse 2, and it reads, For the law of the Spirit, for the law of the Spirit of life
That's
in,
faith. Go ahead.
in Hamashiach Yahushai have made me free from the law of sin and death.
Go ahead.
Verse 3, for what the
That's why
law,
we're receiving grace and mercy. Go ahead.
for what the law could not do,
What was it that the law could not do? The law could not bring us to righteousness. You know, was the law unperfected? No. It was we that was unperfected. Because the Most High put something perfected, which is the law, and the vessel unperfected, which is his flesh. That's why Paul was saying in Romans 7 that is it that which is good? Matter of fact, look at that again. He said, well, I said that which was good, bring forth life, bring forth fruits of death. So read that part again.
Con. It says, verse 3, it says, what the law could not do, it says, in that it was weak through the flesh.
That's what it was. The law cannot bring us to righteousness because that's the answer. It was weak to the flesh. So hold that, found it?
Yeah, Romans 7 verse 8. But sin, taken occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of conspicuance. For without the law, sin was dead. For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died.
Go ahead.
And the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death.
So the commandment that was ordained to life, you found to be unto death, because we could not keep the law. No, that's what the law could not do. It could not bring us to life, because the breaking of the law, which uses flesh. Is it more?
No.
Okay. Okay, let's go back.
Okay, Romans 8, verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. Most High, sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh.
So Yahushua came in the flesh. Yahushua was tempted, but Yahushua never sinned. And when we get crossed over to the kingdom, we put on these new bodies, we're not going to never sin, nor are we going to be tempted. Go ahead.
For the sin condemneth, and for,
Take time.
That's Romans 8, verse 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh. It says, the Most High sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, it says, condemned sin in the flesh.
In other words, you never sin. Go ahead.
Verse 4, it says, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit.
Go ahead.
Verse 5, for it says, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
So read that part again. That's right.
This Romans 8, verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh.
That's the thing. That's what it means. A person is carnal. The word carnal itself means flesh. That's a person that acts off the flesh rather than acting off the Spirit. Go ahead.
But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. It says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritual.
Because to be carnally minded is the person that's acting off the flesh, which that's caused you to break the law, and that leads to what? Death. Go ahead.
It's Romans 8, verse 7. It says, verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
That's right. Peace is the obstruction of freedom from obstruction. That's what I want to say. Peace is a freedom from obstruction, and that's what we're gonna enter into when Yahushua return. We're gonna live in peace, freedom from obstruction. We're not gonna have to worry about anything. We're not gonna live in fear.
That's right.
Let's hold that. Let's get that Galatians.
This is Galatians 3. It says, verse 9. So then, they which be of faith are blessed with faithful Abraham. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse. For it is.
It says, matter of fact, it says in Romans 6:23. So anyone that's under the law is under the curse of the law. Now, let's hold that and get Romans 6:23.
This is Romans 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death.
That's the curse of the law. So, wages is payment. So the payment for the curse is death. You know, that's the curse, is death. So let's go back.
Galatians 3, verse 10. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse, for it is written, cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things.
And that's in Deuteronomy 28 chapter. You know, Deuteronomy 28, it tells you all the way down to 1, I believe, to what, 16, 15, or 14, I'm not mistaken. It gives you all the curses if you was to, or the blessing if you was to keep the law. And then after, it tells you all the curses if you was going to break the law. Okay?
Yep, it says, cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them, but that no man is justified by the law in the sight of the Most High.
Now, what does justified mean? Justified means for a person acts to be found right in the eyes of the Most High. Go ahead.
I have to get this real quick. This is Psalms 32 and verse 2. It says, well, verse 1, it says, blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. That's the point.
That's a person that's have faith in Yahweh Shah. And that man's sins is forgiven. So let's go back.
Back in Galatians 3 verse 11, but that no man is justified by the law.
We broke out the word justified. That means for a man action to be found right in the eyes of the Most High. So it meant no man justified by what?
By the law.
By the law.
In the sight of the Most High, it is evident, for the just shall live by faith.
So the just shall live by faith. So just, the word just means, or the word just is short for saying justice, where the word justice means to mention the law. And the law is referencing to the law of faith. Go ahead.
It says, and the law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them.
That was the number one sin of the Jews in the land, is lacking faith. A lot of them kept the law, because at that time they saw righteousness by the law rather by faith. So the biggest sin was not believing in Yahweh Shah. When Yahweh Shah walked the earth, not having faith in Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
It says, the anointed have redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree.
So he became a curse unto us, meaning he took on our sins. And the curse is death. So Yahweh Shah, he had removed death from breaking the law. Because now that's what it means to be receiving grace. You know, the Most High is being lenient with us because we have faith. Because whereas we're supposed to be put to death. Matter of fact, hold that, get Psalms 118 and 18. Because everything, we really supposed to be put to death. But what the Lord do, he put us through hell.
Psalms 118, verse 18. Yahweh have chastened me sore.
So the Lord, he chastened us. Go ahead.
But he have not given me over unto death.
But he has not given us over to death. But that's why we go through hell, because we're really paying for the stuff we committed. But we really supposed to be put to death for the acts we committed. But the Lord just putting us through hell to purify us, so that way we will be clean during the time when Yahweh shall return. So we'll be guiltless. So let's go back.
That virgin. It says, Galatians 3, verse 14, that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles,
Israelite foreigners, go ahead,
through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit.
Right, the Gentiles are the Israelites that were scattered and established different settlements in the land of the other nations. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men.
The promise, well, the Canaan was given to Abraham by promise, you know. So everything was promised unto us. Go ahead.
Brethren, I speak after the manner.
The Lord said to Abraham and his seeds is talking about Israel, and it was given to Abraham by promise. Okay.
Yep, it says, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth thereto.
Disannul means to break the contract, add on to the contract. Okay.
Now to Abraham and his seed, where the promise is made, he saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before our power in Hamashiach, the law which was 430 years after, cannot disannul.
Disannul means to make void. Go ahead.
That it should make the promise of none effect. For if the inheritance be of the law,
so if the inheritance be of the law, because if the inheritance was of the law, we would never get there.
yeah,
That's why the Lord got to give it under different promises. Okay.
it says, for if the inheritance be of, can I get this, Baba Pasha? This is Revelation.
Matter of fact, let somebody else get it.
Right.
Quote it and let them find it.
Revelation 5 verse 5.
Look, so read that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back in Galatians 3 verse 18, for if the inheritance be of the law,
What's the inheritance? The promise that the Most High made to Abraham down to Israel. Us, living in peace, being in the kingdom. So now, if that was of the law, go ahead.
it says, I'm sorry, I skipped the part. It says, Galatians 3 verse 15, brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth.
You read that.
Or
No mean to make void, right?
it says, now to Abraham and his seed, where the promise is made, he saith not, and to the seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach.
Because Abraham had multiple sons, but the promise went down onto Isaac, down to Jacob. Okay?
And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before the Most High in Hamashiach, the law which was 430 years after, cannot disannul, that it should make the promise of none effect. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of promise, but of the most.
That's right. Read it again. So the inheritance be of the law, there's no more promise, because if you're going to receive the kingdom, and which was promised to us by the law, there's no more promise, because we will never get there, because we will never keep the law 100%. Go ahead.
It says, it is no more of promise, but the Most High gave it to Abraham by promise.
Yeah, but it was already promised to us. So the Most High is already, he's bound by his promise that we was going to receive it. Go ahead. That's why the Most High sent his son, because it was already to give forgiveness to us, because it was already promised. So that way we still can receive it through the mercy of the blood of Yahushua. Go ahead.
It says, wherefore then serveth the law? It was added because of transgressions, till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, and it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator.
Who's that mediator? Yahushua. Go ahead.
Now a mediator is not a mediator of one.
So a mediator is not a mediator of one, because what did the mediator do? The mediator stands in the center of two parties, and he brings peace. That's why Yahushua is known as the King of Peace, because he brought back peace between two parties, Israel and the Most High. How? Through his blood. Go ahead.
But Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, is one. Is the law then against the promises of the Most High? God forbid. For if there had been a law given which could have given life.
All right, let's close up. So with that, we're gonna say all praise and glory to Yahweh. And Lord willing, next week. And keep an eye out for videos. We unfortunately we didn't continue. But there's videos. That's why we do the videos, so we can continue things we're not able to break down when we out here. So with that, next week, Lord willing, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, let's roll.
Yeah, just press this right here.